Hello everyone, Iris France here. Today we will look at another extensive form game, the job offer game. In this game, you will learn how to negotiate salary with your potential employer. In this game, we have two players, the employer E and the worker L. The game starts at the end of a job interview, where the employer decides that the worker is qualified for the job. For simplicity, assume that the worker is the only one qualified among the candidates that the employer interviewed. You can see from the game tree that the employer, E, is the first mover. The employer first decides to extend a high offer, $60,000, or a low offer, $40,000. The worker then chooses to accept the offer or to reject the offer. In addition, if hired, the value of the labor that the worker provides is $70,000, and the opportunity cost of the worker is $35,000. If the employer extends a high offer, $60,000, and it is accepted by the worker, then the employer would get a consumer surplus, $70,000 minus $60,000, which is $10,000. The worker would get a producer surplus, $60,000 minus $35,000, which is equal to $25,000. If the high offer is rejected, then there is no trade, and both players will get $0. If the employer extends a low offer, $40,000, and it is accepted by the worker, then the employer will get a consumer surplus, $70,000 minus $40,000, which is $30,000. The worker would get a producer surplus, $40,000 minus $35,000, which is equal to $5,000. If the low offer is rejected, then there is no trade, and both players will get $0. We will use backward induction to solve for subgame perfect equilibrium. Suppose that the employer extends a high offer, then we're at the red node. If the worker accepts the offer, they would get $25,000. If they reject the offer, they will get $0. Therefore, if the employer extends a high offer, it will be accepted. Since we know that the high offer will not be rejected by the worker, we can do some trimming of the game tree. That is, not considering the choice reject, as we know that the worker will not reject a high offer. What if the employer extends a low offer? Put yourself in the shoes of the worker. Of course, you're not happy with a low offer, but if you accept it, you get $5,000. If you reject it, you get $0. So be as unhappy as you are, you will accept the low offer. We can again trim the branch that will not be chosen. Knowing the worker's strategy, the employer is now ready to think about their own strategy. The employer knows that the worker will choose to accept the offer, whether it's high or low. If the employer extends a high offer, they will get $10,000. If they extend a low offer, it will get $30,000. $30,000 is better than $10,000, so the employer will extend a low offer. Therefore, the subgame perfect equilibrium is that the employer extends a low offer and the worker accepts it. Before you get upset, let me show you how this worker's bargaining power can improve when an alternative offer is in hand. Suppose that we have an identical game here, except that the worker currently has a job that pays $50,000. How will this current job change the dynamics of the game? Notice that if the worker rejects the offer from the employer, the worker will continue with their current job that pays $50,000. As a result, the worker will get a producer surplus, $50,000 minus $35,000, which is equal to $15,000 from the current job. Let's use backward induction to solve for the subgame perfect equilibrium. If the employer extends a high offer and the worker accepts it, then the worker will get $25,000. If the worker rejects the offer, then they will get $15,000. $25,000 is better than $15,000, so a high offer will be accepted. We can now do some trimming. What if the employer extends a low offer? If the worker accepts it, they will get $5,000. If the worker rejects it, they will get $15,000 from the current job. $15,000 is better than $5,000, so a low offer will be rejected. We can now do some trimming. The employer now knows that if they extend a high offer, it will be accepted, and the employer will get $10,000. If the employer extends a low offer, it will be rejected, and the employer will get $0. $10,000 is better than $0, so the employer will extend a high offer. So here is our subgame perfect equilibrium, where the employer extends a high offer and the worker accepts it. What have we learned from this? The wisdom we get from our parents and grandparents. Never quit your job before finding another job. And interview for multiple jobs if this is your first job. That will give you some chips to bargain with your potential employer. I hope you will apply this lesson in your life and win big. See you next time.